This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Hello. Please listen to this important message. Your student loan has been flagged for forgiveness. We are able to remove your payments today.
Hell yeah. 10 January 2021. Corey Winfield.
Marnie Winfield.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast, and I have had my student loans flagged for forgiveness. That's what's up. You don't have yours flagged, do you?
Oh, I get voicemails all the time for that. But somebody's going back to school.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
That's awesome.
School will be starting.
Yep.
I told you the classes I was taking.
Yeah, it's quite the mixture.
Yeah.
You're broadening your horizons.
Criminal defense.
You're all over the map. I'm like, wait, what are you going for again?
Just cool stuff.
Just to learn.
Yeah, I'm making my own certificate.
His curriculum is just like you.
They're like, don't you want a degree? I was like, no. For what?
No, just go through it. Let's just hear them.
Oh, well. Okay, I'm taking Intro to Sociology. Mm-hmm. And I think I've already taken that. Well, I don't know if it was Intro. I don't remember. I was in a few of them, and when I went to jail, I missed my exams. I ended up failing because that class was just like, you got 2 tests in the exam. If you take them all, you'll pass. Even if you fail, you'll pass. But you have to take them all. And she wouldn't let me retake it. I even told her, I was like, I was in jail. And she was like, sorry. Damn. So I ended up taking that, trying to take it again last semester. And it just, the COVID. And I thought it would be a nice little easy fall. I was like, this is cool. You know, I'll just chill and take some classes and it'd be good. And then 217 Recovery Ride started kind of picking up. Mm-hmm. And between that class and the coding class that I was taking, you miss a class and you start getting behind, it's over. Yeah. And my genius thinking was, I'll pick a day of the week for each class. So I was taking 4 classes. I passed my abnormal psychology class. I got a B in there. That was a good class. I loved it. But that class was on Sundays. I never had to take anybody treatment on Sundays. So it was like, well, I did take one guy, but it was really early in the morning. But so, yeah, I have to have a better plan of attack.
Use a calendar.
I have a calendar, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I mean, I have a calendar in my brain, but I need to not just go, well, Monday is this class, and then all of a sudden I get something pops up on a Monday and I don't do that class, and I can't just be like, well, I'll just wait till next Monday. But see, Tuesday I had a class, and then Wednesday, so like it's not like I could double up. I mean, I probably could have. Right. But, yeah, these are all classes I'm interested in. Intro to Computers and Business or something like that. Mm-hmm. That one I took because there was another class I was really wanting to get into. Interpersonal communication, which was another class that I've taken, sort of. Didn't make it all the way through it. Mm-hmm. But there's a waiting list. So I jumped on that waiting list, and then I took this Intro to Computers for Business or something like that. And then the other 2 are mysteries to me at this time.
I remember you saying the name of one, and I thought it was hilarious. You're like, you learn about the stuff that's in CSI.
Oh, yeah, the criminal defense or whatever.
Yeah.
Or criminal evidence or, yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm really taking that.
I know. I believe you.
And then the other one is the mystery one. It's not mathematics. I've already taken all those. It's not science because I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Some people can do science. I just can't do science. Mm-hmm. So I don't even. So I mean, like, oh, you're not trying hard enough. It's like, that's for other people. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't do everything.
Right.
Dang it. It would take me 2 seconds to pull it up. All right, let me pull it up.
Well, I think in general it's awesome. Going back to school is a great decision. I think I might go back to grad school and finish my master's.
I'll get you a degree. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that it was bad that I didn't remember?
I don't know. Didn't
my
you
classes?
Just sign up for it like
A week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, so the other one, and I can't believe you didn't remember this one either. Because I told you, because I'm going to run for senator.
Oh, yeah. Politics.
Intro to American Politics.
Oh, gosh. This is going to be great. His homework.
Yes. Evidence in Criminal Procedures.
Ah.
That's the one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds like I'm going to be learning. But yeah, that starts tomorrow. So you're right. You know, it is good to go back. And a lot of people are like, wait, what you mean I can go back? I don't understand, you know. And depending on where you were in your student loans or whatever, but like people can help you with that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not impossible. And like we say all the time, if you're stuck in a job where you're just like, I just don't like this job. What are you doing to get out of it? You know?
Right.
Keep going. If you need to make your rent, you need to make your car payment, stuff like that. You need to live, sure. But what are you doing on the side? You know, are you just going home and playing Call of Duty, or
right?
You know, like what are you doing to better your situation?
You know, I'm curious about what about like trade school? Are those because those are hands-on kind of stuff? How are they
you
doing
mean like
that?
DeVry?
I don't know. I guess
I think they're
I don't
out
know.
of business.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like people that are learning how to weld or learning how
there's
do you
apprenticeship programs and stuff like that.
Those are still going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I know in Southwest Michigan. I don't know around here, or I mean, I'm not sure where people are listening, but you know, like Southwest Michigan, tool and die is a big thing. Mold making, building trim dies, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's a huge industry.
Yeah, yeah, and it pays well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that enjoy that. I couldn't do it. There's lots of things that figure out what you like and what you're good at, and then shoot for it.
Hustling. Besides hustling.
No, besides that.
One guy told me the other day, I was talking with him, and he was like, yeah, I don't get no stimulus. I was like, you don't? I was like, no. I was like, what about unemployment? He's like, nope. Why? He's like, well, you don't pay your taxes. You know, he's like, I was a drug dealer. He was like, I wasn't filing my taxes. I didn't have a job, you know. It was like, it's biting me in the ass now.
Yeah.
So he's out there working, though. I mean, he's doing something, so that's good. And he's not selling drugs anymore, so that's even better.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Start somewhere, for sure.
He was just like, yeah. I mean, he accepted it. You know, like, he wasn't like, man, life's not fair. He was just like, yeah, it sucks, because I don't get any of that.
Right.
I was like, damn. Too bad I was going to sell you some 217 recovery shirts. Which we have a Valentine's Day shirt. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's got a heart.
Yeah. Turned out good.
Yeah. And we'll be selling those on our website, 217recovery.com. So look for that coming soon. Now, yesterday, I tried starting some beef. I think I called the podcast Beefin'. Because I think I will start beef with that other podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Reflections or Gratitudes. Or Reflecting.
You kind of were.
What's it called? Was I?
Yeah.
I was poking the bear.
You kind of were.
They're from Canada, so it doesn't matter.
See, stuff like that. That's
what?
exactly what.
Oh, yeah.
Poking the bear.
Sorry, I like Canada, though. Got stuff there.
And
Niagara
I did listen
that side of it.
to the podcast that you were speaking of.
Yes.
And I think that she had a lot of good things to say. I think it's just sometimes, like we were talking about, sometimes people's, presentation, like their voices, it might not appeal to you.
Yeah. It wasn't her voice. It was what she was saying. And again, you know, when people turn on our podcast, depending on which one they listen to, we have over 400.
Right.
You know, depending on what one they hit the first time, they could love it, they could hate it.
Yeah.
You know, I think we grow on people, which is cool. But for someone to tune in, like I did for hers, and it was like her New Year's special, which was the 1-year anniversary of her starting her podcast. And she was just like, oh, my listeners, and I've started a revolution or a community, or I don't know, she said something like that. I don't know, it was just a lot of giving herself credit, and I don't know, with my radio background, I don't even like to call my listeners, I got my listeners and my fans, and
Right.
I don't like to do that. My mom listens.
Yeah, but
that's
she's
it,
proud of what she's done, and she's, you know, she believes in what she's talking about. So, you know, I give her a lot of credit. I'll tell you one thing: I wouldn't want to do a podcast all by myself. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it takes balls to do it.
Yeah, it does not so. I just tell you right now, I wouldn't do it.
I think she's been sober 8 years too.
Yeah,
She just started a year ago, so I mean,
Right.
she's been thinking about it for a while probably, and somebody was like, "Just do it."
good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. You know, different strokes, different folks, and I say that all the time. You know, we're not. Some people probably, like I said, can't. Oh God, those.
Oh, there's some I listen to. I'm just like, this is boring.
Not even about recovery. Sometimes podcasts suck.
Yeah,
You know,
they can't all be good.
They can't all be fantasy footballers. That's a great podcast. Don't always take their advice, though. They are wrong quite a bit, but entertaining. Mm-hmm. So I listen.
Yeah, I know you do.
Speaking of football, did I ever say I was the champion of the fantasy football league?
I'm sure that you have.
Okay, because I was the champion. You were second place. Good job.
Thank you.
And Charles came in third place. George tried, but he just... He got fourth. So that's how it went down.
And if you look at the stats, the results looks like I threw the game.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about.
It looks terrible. It's like my projected points were supposed to be neck and neck.
Yeah.
And it was just like, psh, explosion. It was terrible. But it's okay. I wasn't the one playing, so I don't feel bad.
So that's what I was worried about, though. I was like, oh, man, the guy's going to think, like you threw it.
Well, and plus, I mean, I know. I just looked at the stats and the projected stuff. I didn't really know anything about the players anyway, so...
Yeah, but I think Derrick Henry took a crap on you. But like you were, like your team was like, you were supposed to lose in the first round, and you just came out of nowhere and won. Which I was like, oh, okay. And then you went up against the guy that was number 1 seed, and I'm like, oh, like you're not gonna have a chance. And then boom, again, all your players go off, and you just beat the crap out of them. Which I was like, wow, you took out 2 people that I did not want to face. You took out Adam, and then you took out Charles.
Because you would have lost if you in that game.
In the very end, the last game, I don't know. I probably would have played some people different. But with you, it was just like, I'd already seen your team start taking a crap, and I was like, I'll throw Emmanuel Sanders in there and sit Deontay Johnson. But I probably would have started Deontay Johnson. Who knows? And then I would have beat Charles' ass, so he can't be like, oh, I would have beat Corey. You would have beat that lineup that I put against Marnie's team. But you wouldn't have beat my lineup, Charles. Charles, you better listen to this podcast.
Man.
No, and yeah, but I feel bad for Bear fans. I do and I don't, because the owners of the Bears, they don't care about winning. It's the same as the Lions. They're like, we're going to sell shirts, we're going to get seats. Who cares if we're, why would we spend money on winning? Mm-hmm. Why do we spend money on players? And they just have the same philosophy in Chicago. They'll spend a little bit of money on defense, but that's it. And then they make stupid trades to get stupid quarterbacks, and it was just a horrible loss. But Drew Brees, oh my God, he came the closest I've ever seen anyone come to scoring a touchdown, and then not. It was kind of at the end of the game. It was like 2 minutes to go, a little over 2 minutes to go, and it was like 4th and goal, and he was going to sneak it across. And all you have to do is jump over the end zone. Like, you just got to break the plane, as they say. Like, there's an imaginary vroom.
Yeah.
You just got to just the tip of the ball, just barely, and touchdown. And he jumped over his offensive line, put the ball out, and then took it back. Like they did a replay of it, and they showed it slow motion, and it was like he got like 2 millimeters away from breaking the plane, and then pulled it back in.
Wow.
He was all excited because he thought he had scored a touchdown. He was like running around, and then he's like looking up at the scoreboard, like, oh, because they were like replaying it, and you could tell like he knew, oh shit, I didn't make it, but he was still like, oh. Well, I mean, they beat the Bears anyway, but then the Bears at the end, that was pretty badass. Jimmy Graham, and they call him Jimmy Grandpa because he's old, and he made this amazing one-handed catch for a touchdown, but it was the end of the game. So he makes this amazing grab, catches it, gets on the ground, rolls up, gets up, and just boom, sprints down the tunnel. Kind of like Bo Jackson. Well, yeah, because Bo Jackson won a game that way. He was like running and got to the end zone and just kept on running through the tunnel.
That's funny.
So it was kind of like that, but Jimmy Graham.
It was pretty cool.
I was like, that could have been the last catch of his career. Like, he can retire. He's getting up there. How badass would that be? That was my last catch. It was done. Left it all on the field.
Yep.
So playoff football is fun, though. And speaking of Charles, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings during the season when we could go to restaurants here in Michigan, and we were watching football, keeping track of our players, which I found out was way too much at Buffalo Wild Wings. There's too many TVs, too many games, and I just was losing my mind. But he was saying that this is the first football season he's ever went through sober.
Yeah.
And it was weird for him. I told him, I was like, yeah, it was really weird. Last year doing fantasy football sober, and it's only weird the first time, I guess, really, once you get through it and you realize that you can turn on a football game and not have to be trashed.
Right.
And that's the way I used to live. I'd wake up at 7 doing laundry to give me an excuse to drink. And I'd wait till 9 and then watch the fantasy stuff and passed out midway through the first game.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Then once you realize that it's more fun and you're like more present for things, not just fantasy football, but just like the world, your life, it's awesome.
Yeah, we don't have to waste that time.
Yeah. So much more productive. I know. Going to school.
Yeah. Cleaning bathrooms, doing laundry.
Ordering comforter sets on Amazon.
Yeah, some sheets. No, I was pretty productive today, though. And that never would have I never would have been doing laundry was me being productive. Well, I did laundry. Really? Like, that's it? Like, that's okay. What else do you do? Laundry? Okay, what about your personal life? Did you take care of anything you needed to do?
Right.
Did you help anybody out? Did you do something for anybody else? I did stuff for you today. A couple things.
Thank you for that.
A couple things.
Oh my God.
Stop it. Okay, I did hit the button that time. But say hi to your dad. Hey, what's up, Galen? Marriage is going awesome.
Yes.
People keep asking me.
Yeah.
So how's the marriage life? How's it going? It's going great.
It is.
It really is. And yeah.
We kind of comment every so often about, like, we'll get off on a kind of a storytelling thing of random stuff, weird stuff. And then it just always ends up with, man, I'm glad I didn't know you when you were drinking.
What was I saying today?
I don't know. I can't remember. But it happens often, ending the conversation like that.
Yeah,
we're both just sitting there shaking our heads. Like, and then it's like, man, I'm glad I didn't know when you were drinking.
We had a nice conversation the other night. I had talked to a friend, old friend, that just wanted to talk, so I talked, and it was like for 25 hours, it seemed like. But, I was just listening pretty much, And then we got to talking, and it was just like, oh my God, like, I'm glad that we're not codependent, and, I'm glad that I don't feel like I have to drink. And like we just start going through that, like, oh my God, like we're so lucky. And, if you'd have asked me 3 years ago, if I would have asked you 3 years ago, do you feel lucky that you're on this journey? You'd be like, hell no.
No.
It's horrible. I'm messing with all the wrong people, doing all the wrong crap, just my life's going nowhere. It's horrible. I don't know how to get out of it. But I had to go through all that.
Nobody would answer that question at that moment. When you're in the thick of it, when you're in the present, and it's like just in the middle of your addiction and your world's falling apart, nobody's going to be like, this is what, needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Even though it's the truth. You don't want to be like, aren't you glad that you're going through this right now? No. Time to make some changes. Like, pick yourself up and let's do something about this.
I remember when, like, material things were so important to me because that was representing what I had accomplished in life. At least that's what I thought. Having a nice car. Having a house. Those were things that were, I bought my own house. I have a car. But it doesn't mean squat. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. That was miserable. And then to lose those things, what are people going to think of me? And slowly, I lost those things. I remember the first time I was looking to go to rehab, I asked the guy if there was anything, if he knew of any like programs that insurance companies had that they would like let you not pay on your insurance because you're not going to be driving. I was like going to California, so I'm like, or Oregon, one of those two, and I was like, I won't be driving. Like I'm going to be gone for 3 months. I don't want to pay my car insurance, but I don't want to get shut off and this and that. And mm-hmm. He's like, car insurance? I was like, what about my house? Is there like, does homeowners insurance stuff do that too? And he's like, I don't know. Most people I talk to don't have a car and don't have a house. I was like, oh, well, I'm better than those people. Fast forward. And when they say, oh, don't worry, you'll lose it. You will. If you keep continuing to use and drink, you're not special. And if you know someone who's like, oh, yeah, well, they say that they don't really have a problem and they're going to do it on their own. And okay, well, good luck. Because if you keep using, you're going to lose it all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I included, had to. Mm-hmm. Had to lose it all. And then once you do, the house, I moved back to Michigan, and then I just couldn't sell it. And I don't know. It wasn't like I was evicted or anything. It just wouldn't sell, and I stopped trying. But once you start losing it, and like the car, I called the bank, was like, come get it. It was such an eye-opening or sobering moment, I guess, to know that I don't have a car. It's the first time since I was 16 I don't have a car. Mm-hmm. But I'm still alive. My sister still loves me. My nephews still love me.
Yeah.
Like to realize, like, oh, because I don't have a car, it's not the end of the world at all. Mm-hmm. Because I gave my house back to the bank. Not the end of the world at all. I still found a hot chick that would marry me. So, I mean, hey, those are things that will come and go. But you got to, at least for me, I started finding out what was really important.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
And that was like the starting point of it. Because those still things that I didn't want people to know. And you just start kind of opening up a little bit. And they say every time you talk about it, whatever it is, things get a little easier.
Yeah.
And it's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Okay. Well, I still haven't got anyone to draw a picture of a stick figure and send me an email. So I want you to send it to Marnie and no no funny business. Yeah, I really want someone to design it for us. I mean, I'm going to reach out to him this week, so it'd be cool if somebody could get me something.
Maybe it's the universe wants you to reach out to the coffee company first, and then we have something lined up. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
But I know you're out there, people. I know that you know how to draw.
I have some really good ideas. I was thinking, well, tell me this wouldn't fly off the shelves. And if they would donate to different AA meetings, you know, donate like 10 bags or 100 bags or whatever. But on the bag, have like the basement of a church or the front of a church, you know, like I think that'd be pretty cool, you know, 217 Recovery Coffee and have like a, you know, church, you know, a meeting place. Or I was thinking in my mind, there's like a dark alley and then there's like a neon sign saying recovery meeting, you know, and the address be 217 and then recovery and then.
Oh, that's good.
I know. I'll just do it. Never mind.
Maybe
I don't
you
need
should...
your stupid stick figures. I'll do it myself.
I think you're onto something.
I know. I really am. And when you see 217 Recovery Coffee up in the store, you're like, that damn Winfield did it. Mm-hmm. How's he keep doing it? It's because he's sober, man. You can do anything you want as long as you're sober.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know how, you'll figure it out. If you want it bad enough.
That's right.
I want this bad enough. Like I said, we'll go to Costco. We'll just buy a crap ass coffee.
No,
we'll
we're not doing it that way.
Well, I'll drive it to meetings. I'm like, you guys want a bag of this? It's really Costco coffee, but I put it in a cool bag. It costs me more to print the pictures, and but at least I will have accomplished my mission.
Yeah. You know what's starting to happen is the COVID vaccinations. So maybe slowly but surely our world will start opening back up again to normal town.
Yeah. Are you getting it? Mm-hmm. I'm not.
No.
Nah. See, how my genetics work.
I'm an essential health worker.
So am I. In my mind. No, like how my genetics and how my genes work, though, is that I went bald. Because your body can only be so awesome. So I lost my hair. And I also lost the ability to process sugar rapidly. So, yeah, still working on that. But with those things that my body had stopped focusing on, like hair, it's like, shoom, we're going to focus on fighting disease and viruses. So now sinus infection, that's something I'm still waiting on. But that's only once a year I get it. And not a big deal.
That was a rough ride there. When you had that.
It was all right. It wasn't too bad. Fought it off.
Oh, man.
With help from antibiotics. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was offered. I just don't know. Like, I don't get the flu shot or anything like that either, so. Yeah, but, yeah, go get it if that's something that you're into.
Into?
Yeah.
Might as well.
There's a story. I don't know if I want to talk about it. Well, I might. It was on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Richard Marx. I don't know if it's the real Richard Marx, the singer.
From the 80s?
Yeah. But he tweets all kinds of nonsense. That's why I'm not sure if it's the real guy. But anyway, he was just like, I was appalled because the story from the Chicago Tribune said that man who drove through Black Lives Matter crowd doesn't go to jail or prison and gets 3 years probation. At first I was like, man, that's messed up. You know, then I started reading about it and I was like, oh, okay, well, it wasn't like, you know, I've heard of those stories. I think it was in North Carolina or something like that where the guy like drove into like speeding into the crowd, you know, like hitting people. But it wasn't like that. Like one guy said, "Oh, well, my leg was kind of sore." You know, he just kept going. And one guy was like, "Oh," and I don't know, but it wasn't like the Chicago Tribune made it sound like this guy was like going 80 miles an hour, ran over a bunch of people, and then no, nobody died. Like nobody was seriously injured at all. You know, he just was like, "I'm not stopping," and people that were at the protest or rally or whatever, which was the impromptu, like they didn't have permission to do it. You know, they didn't get a permit or anything, and they were just blocking roads. You know, there was something like that happened in Arkansas, but it was over the Confederate flag, and they were actually. I was going one way, and I saw it happening on the other side, where some hillbilly just jumps out of his truck. They're going to start them a little hillbilly parade. And he jumps out of his truck and starts trying to stop traffic so his buddies in their trucks and cars can pull out with their flags and do this Confederate flag parade. And I told my mom, I was like, I would run them over. There's no way in hell I'm stopping for that. Some hillbilly jumping out and going, stop. So I don't know, you know, and I put that on Twitter, you know, to these people because they were like, oh, I can't believe that. And I'm like, look, nobody really knows how they're going to react until you're in that situation.
Right.
Don't know what the dude was doing. Don't know where he was going, you know, but all of a sudden you pull up to something and it could have been looking like a riot. You know, like who knows, you know, until you're in that situation, how you're going to react. And these people are like, oh, I know I wouldn't run people over. And I'm like, he didn't run anybody over, you know, like
he was probably like, I don't want any part of this and I have somewhere to be.
Yeah. So I had to, because like I said, at first when I saw the headline though, I was like, oh, hell no. Like that's just appalling, you know, that this guy wouldn't be in jail or prison, you know, running people over. And then you start reading and you're like, oh, okay. You know, the judge did what he thought was best. You know, he wasn't just going to let somebody off. And then people were like, oh, yeah, your white privilege card, you know, bring that with you when you go to court. And I'm like, okay, see, the Chicago Tribune, and I told them that they should be ashamed of themselves for even putting that story out there like that with the headline that they do, because they know people aren't going to read it. And being in radio and seeing the news side of it, too, I know for a fact they don't give two shits about what happened in that case. They want people to click on their website so that they can look at their numbers and give it to advertisers and say, look, you know, we had a pretty good little weekend, you know, over 80,000 views. Look at our Twitter.
That's
all they give. That's
headlines.
all they care about. That's all they care about.
Yep.
It's facts. It's 100% fact. Now, there are other news organizations out there that really do want to focus on the news, but it still all comes down to money. You know, it's an entertainment thing. They're not obligated to tell the story 100% the way it is. I mean, you know that if you watch the news, you know, watch CNN, watch Fox News, they'll tell you the same story, and you'll wait, is that the same thing they were talking about? Like, it's two different worlds, you know, and that drives me crazy. It's just like, give me the facts, you know, and people are too lazy sometimes to read into them. You know, you see stuff on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
You know, on Twitter, it's just like, oh, Jesus. You know, like, oh, Whitmer is she made voting fraud, or she voted against making voting fraud a felony because she's a scandalous. No, because it's already a felony. Like, why would she do it again? And I don't know if I talked about this or not, but it's like saying that, hey, you know what we should do? We should make it illegal to go over 55 on the back roads. Let's put that through. And we work hours on this bill, and then we give it to her, and she's like, it's already illegal to speed. Why would we make it illegal to go over 55? Like, 55 is the speed limit. Like, you idiots. Like, what did you just waste money on? Just how much you get paid? You know, that's what I'd have been like. Why are you putting this crap bill in front of me? But so that's what she did. But anyway, like, read into some stuff before you just see a headline and just, boom, take off running with it, you know? Unless, I mean, some people just like getting other people riled up.
Yeah. So
I told this lady that sent me this video the other day, this guy down in Oklahoma, he's like, oh, Chinese people buying up our ranches down here, and they're going to start a military base, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And Democrats taking our guns. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I had to stop listening because my IQ was, like, lowering. And this chick was like, oh, no, it's real. I'm like, oh, my God. So then I sent her, like, a little article on, you know, who can sell their land to foreign people and how that process actually works, and they don't really own the land, and they're not going to be able to put up a military base there, but that's cool. She's like, no, they really are. And I was like, okay, good luck. I was like, good luck. Yeah. But anyway, not to get political, because I haven't even taken my
maybe you should wait till you
class.
take your course.
At least I'll start day 1 tomorrow, so I'll be ready to go on Tuesday.
Oh no.
All right, I'm done. But thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you for sitting in the chair across from me too, Marnie.
Yeah.
I think you wanted to run out of here.
No. You're funny.
Like, thank God it's over. All right, but thanks for listening. We'll be back on Tuesday, and yeah, check out our website. Get the app too. Mm-hmm. Oh, and like that lady said, if people are still listening, to rate our app. And like when we're in the Apple Podcasts or Spotify, stuff like that, to rate us and give us a review. Because people with more reviews, I guess, show up more. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what she said to my listeners.
So do that, please.
I want to thank my listeners for listening to me, making this a community that I've made. For us.
That was a genuine thank you that didn't sound like it.
It sounded just like that. I've made the world a better place. Join my community. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh my gosh.
The aliens are coming. We gotta catch the spaceship. All right, I'm wrapping it up. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
See ya. They're coming.